This is the United States of America, and this is Canada, and this is the world. The number 3 sports show in America. From the turf to the asphalt. This is the Totally Real Sports Show. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Lawrence Brady, the Boot Wilson, coming to you live from our downtown studio, 712. We got a jam-packed sports show today, as we're going to be slam-dunking some sports with geography and history. It's going to be a real home run for sure. So let's see, starting our lineup for today, we're going to be talking about the largest sporting venues, arenas, and stadiums in each of North America's biggest sporting leagues. I'm talking about the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, NASCAR, and of course, Major League Soccer and the NHL. We're going to be breaking down each league and do a quick recap on the top 5 biggest sports venues for each respective league. That means the maximum capacity each sport allows at the stadium, which is different from the stadium's maximum total. What I mean is, a particular arena might be able to seat 20,000 roaring fans in optimal conditions, but the league may only allow seating for 10,000, due to them knowing they can't possibly fill every seat. Besides, arrangements and configurations of arenas also change depending on the sport, so we're basing this off 2023 and 2024 statistics. You get the picture. So we'll be breaking it down like that. We will also recap some historical notes for each stadium and talk about any interesting facts. It's going to be a hard-hitting bang boom bam! So grab your mouth guard and tape your ears. Time to check out some of the largest sports venues by league. That's a touchdown in my book.
Oh, Suarez right alongside him, 3 wide, off turn 4. Here they come to the flag, 3 abreast, photo finish.
How awesome was that?
Scoring has the margin between the first 3 cars at 0.00 seconds.
We'll start with America's number 1 motorsport, the National Association of Stock Car Racing. The Daytona 500. That should conjure up a lot of imagery for most people. Daytona is one of the most famous racetracks in the United States and is well known throughout the world. This 2.5-mile tri-oval needs no introduction. Daytona International Speedway is famous for its Daytona 500, the Super Bowl of NASCAR, and crowning some of the sport's best drivers with their crown jewel achievement of winning this massive drafting track. NASCAR's founder, Bill France Sr., had the track built in 1959 after racing on the Daytona beach was no longer viable. The track's infield is large and is around 180 acres. Within the infield is Lake Lloyd. The corners are extremely banked, having 31 degrees of banking to hold the cars down as they race around the track at speeds of 200 miles per hour. The front stretch is 3,800 feet, while the back stretch is 3,000 feet long. The fastest recorded average speed at the track is held by Bill Elliott in 1987, when he drove his Ford Thunderbird around the track with an average speed of 210 miles per hour. Consider that speed to modern-day stock cars, which have had their speeds cut. Michael McDowell, who held the Daytona 500 pole, averaged 183 in his Ford Mustang in 2024. The grandstands hold 123,500 people, but if you include the infield, the numbers can jump up to 167,000. The track, of course, hosts other racing series and events, but NASCAR is where the majority of the seats get used. The peak attendance was in 2003, 2005, and 2006, with just over 200,000 fans in attendance. At number 4, we have the Texas Motor Speedway outside of downtown Fort Worth, Texas. It is a 1.5-mile quad-oval track. Original seating on opening day in 1995 was 200,000 for the track, But over the years, due to stale racing and the lack of fan interest, the track has limited the amount of seating, dropping it down to 137,000. The track has been the center of criticism from fans due to the lack of racing product. People claim it's a boring track to watch races. One of the ways to add some excitement, I guess, was in 2013 when the track removed 10,000 seats along the backstretch to create the world's largest HD LED TV screen known as Big Hoss. So now, fans could watch the race on the massive screen instead of right in front of them. In 2023, the track's promoters said that they would increase the screen size by 10%. Outside of NASCAR, the track also hosts IndyCar racing, which arguably IndyCar fans seem to like it at Texas. Rockfest in 1997 holds the record for having the most people ever at this track, welcoming over 400,000 people, but that was over the course of 2 days. Texas's record with NASCAR was 216,000 fans in 2004. Texas today still can welcome about 137,000 fans to a NASCAR event. One of the newer attractions on the NASCAR schedule is the Circuit of the Americas, outside of Austin, Texas. This modern 3.4-mile road course features elevation changes, technical turns, and high-speed corners. The track opened on October 21st, 2012, and first hosted Formula One. A lot of other racing leagues started racing here early on, but NASCAR arrived with its top 3 divisions in 2021. It is now a fan favorite among road course enthusiasts within NASCAR. The track is well known for its 251-foot observation tower, which gives you grand views of racing action all around the course. Also unique to the track is the main straight. After the start and finish line, it goes up an incline and enters turn 1. It's a wild setup. The track has seating for 120,000 people, though if you include all the outer and inner spaces, numbers have gone as high as over 200,000 in a day, but officially the track is set at 120,000. At number 2, we have Bristol Motor Speedway, which is as much a racetrack as it is a racetrack within a stadium. The tiny half-mile concrete oval was opened in 1961 and has been a fan favorite for years. The entire track is like a Roman Colosseum with seating encircling the entire track. This might be why the track is also known as the Last Great Colosseum. The track is tiny, so laps are done extremely fast. Kyle Larson currently holds the record with the fastest lap, running a lap time of 14.945 seconds back in 2018. This track is banked the entire way around and is progressively banked throughout. At its peak, there are 30 degrees of banking, allowing cars to hold optimal speed as they take the corners. The track and NASCAR have had fun with this track over the years, even covering it in dirt to bring NASCAR back to its dirt roots. Outside of NASCAR, the track hosts some other dirt rally type events and the occasional football game, such as the exhibition game between Washington, D.C. and the Philadelphia Eagles back in 1961. Heck, even college football played a game here in 2016. The MLB plans to hold a game here between the Atlanta Braves and the Cincinnati Reds in 2025. Peak seating was over 160,000, but it has been reduced to 153,000 in recent years. And the number 1 biggest venue for NASCAR is Indianapolis, or the Brickyard. It is quite possibly one of the most famous tracks in the world, known as the racing capital of the world. Famous, of course, for the Indy 500 and the Brickyard 400. Located in Speedway, Indiana, this track was constructed in 1909. It is a 2.5-mile-long rectangular oval with banking between 9 to 12 degrees in the corner. The track is steeped in history and tradition. For example, it is common for the Indy 500 winner to drink milk after the race. The Brickyard 400 winner is known to kiss the bricks at the start and finish line, a tradition started by NASCAR driver Dale Jarrett in 1996. This track is quite big, and there's a lot of interior space. There are 257,327 permanent seats, but there is room for upwards of 400,000 people if need be. At the time of writing, NASCAR's peak occupancy at the track was in 1994, when 350,000 attended to watch Jeff Gordon win the race. So, the biggest sporting venue for NASCAR is Indianapolis.
And it is an emotional, excited, and just thrilled Bill Elliott to be in victory lane at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Lopez wants it away.
And it's hit deep to left center. Andrew Jones on the run. This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza, and the Mets lead 3-2.
Home run and the curtain call.
It's time to check out America's pastime, the MLB, Major League Baseball. Now this one might not be here much longer. We have the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, former home of the Oakland Athletics and the Oakland Raiders. As I said, unfortunately, time is short for this stadium. It has lost all of its major league teams, as has the city of Oakland. Not only was attendance declining, but so was the stadium itself, falling into disrepair, and it is constantly ranked as one of the worst stadiums in all of Major League Baseball. Reports of crumbling infrastructure, concrete, leaking pipes. This 1966 stadium just isn't holding up, and it needs some major improvements. Long story short, the Oakland A's announced that they were going to build a new stadium within Oakland, but then in 2021, the commissioner of the MLB suggested the Oakland A's relocate to another city, which of course kind of stopped all the plans for the new stadium. 2024 is the last year the Oakland A's will be playing in Oakland. They aren't even playing in the Coliseum anymore. One little bit of history was that the 1994 Disney film Angels in the Outfield was actually filmed in the Oakland Coliseum. It was a fill-in for the Anaheim Angels Stadium. I guess I should call them the Los Angeles Angels now. The max capacity for baseball was over 50,000 people. In certain setups for the NFL, it could hold 63,000, but those days are long gone. This stadium can hold 46,847 people, just slightly above Yankee Stadium's 46,537. Bonus! And since I don't want this video to be outdated almost instantly, if we didn't include the Coliseum previously, the real number 5 would be Yankee Stadium in New York City, the house that Jeter built. This stadium was built in 2009 to replace the original stadium that ran 1923 to 2008. Of course, it's one of the most famous stadiums in the world, home to the New York Yankees. As of 2024, it seats 46,537. Number 4 is Seattle's T-Mobile Park, home of the Seattle Mariners. This ball field is still lovingly remembered as Safeco Field. That name was around since this stadium originally opened in 1999, all the way up until 2018 when the name was changed to T-Mobile. This park is unique because it has a retractable roof that can cover the field and the fans when that Seattle rain decides to start misting. The aging Kingdome was demolished in the year 2000, just as Safeco Field opened up in 1999. The Kingdome situation was very much like what the Oakland Coliseum situation is right now in Oakland, except the difference is Seattle got rid of their stadium decades ago. Over the years, seating at the stadium has progressively gotten more, but just slightly. When it opened, it originally held 46,621 people, but today it can hold 47,929. Some unique features of the park is the Mariners Hall of Fame, which has famous Mariner-related players and coaches, even broadcasters such as broadcaster David Niehaus, Jay Buhner, Edgar Martinez, Ken Griffey Jr., Ichiro Suzuki, and of course, King Felix Hernandez, Lou Piniella, and more. There's also the Pen, which is located right next to the bullpens, where fans could just stand there and watch pitchers warm up before the game. The Pen is also popular because they serve really good food and really good drinks there, so much so that the Sports Business Journal called the Pen the liveliest social scene in Major League Baseball. One other fun thing about T-Mobile Park is that, well, the National Hockey League actually played here. On January 1st, 2024, the Seattle Kraken played the Vegas Golden Knights and beat them 3-0 right here in the baseball park. And that is Seattle's T-Mobile Park. In our third spot is Chase Field, home of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Located in downtown Phoenix, Chase Field is also a field that features a retractable roof. As a matter of fact, it was the first stadium to do so, being completed in 1998, just a year before Seattle's T-Mobile Park. But unlike the retractable roof in Seattle, which is protecting people from rain, this one is protecting people from the harsh rays of the sun. The stadium's attendance record was in 2022, when an Elton John concert took place here. As part of his major farewell tour, the Farewell Yellow Brick Road, over 99,000 people were stuffed into this stadium. And besides MLB, the stadium has also had Supercross, Monster Jam, and wrestling events. The seat limits for the stadium are 48,405 within the MLB. Denver's Coors Field was built in 1995 and is home to the Colorado Rockies. No, not the Mountains, the baseball team. I mean, technically it's home to both. Anyways, this stadium led to the downfall of Mile High Stadium, which used to hold Denver's teams. Mile High closed in 2001 and was demolished in 2002. This stadium, as of 2024, has held two different MLB All-Star games, one in 1998 and the other in 2021, as well as an outdoor hockey game in 2016. The stadium's also quite popular with concerts, the biggest concerts being Def Leppard and Billy Joel in 2018 and 2019, respectively. Seating capacity at the park has definitely declined over the years, with a peak of over 50,000 when it opened to now about 46,000, though there's still room for 50,000 people if you include standing room. In 2013, the Colorado Rockies played the Atlanta Braves. It's remembered for going down as the coldest game ever in the history of MLB. The temperature at game time was 23 degrees. And the largest venue in the MLB in terms of seating capacity goes to Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, California. This stadium is the oldest ballpark in the MLB, west of the Mississippi River, third overall after Wrigley Field and Fenway Park. The stadium opened in 1962 at the cost of $23 million. That's apparently the cost of what it takes to widen less than a mile of road in Los Angeles nowadays. Today, the home team is the Los Angeles Dodgers, but from 1962 to 1965, it was home to the Los Angeles Angels. Now, this stadium has the largest seating capacity of any stadium in the MLB, and because of that, this stadium has held a lot of big events. As of 2024, the World Series has been played 10 times at Dodger Stadium. There was also an exhibition baseball game in the 1984 Summer Olympics. There have also been some hockey and soccer games that have taken place here. Now, this stadium actually plays a huge part in MLB's history, especially for the team, the Los Angeles Dodgers. You see, this stadium was originally built because the Brooklyn Dodgers team president in the 1950s couldn't build a domed stadium in New York City like he wanted. Instead, he got a deal with Los Angeles and moved the Brooklyn Dodgers to Los Angeles, in turn changing the entire team from the Brooklyn Dodgers to the Los Angeles Dodgers. The stadium's entire existence is quite controversial. The city did some shady things and declared eminent domain on a mostly Hispanic, poor neighborhood. Anyways, city voters decided that they wanted to have a baseball park, and that's where the baseball park ended up. The neighborhood was evicted, and the stadium was built within 3 years. The LA Dodgers' first game in this new stadium was in 1958. From an aerial perspective, one of the interesting things about this entire stadium is the mass amounts of parking around it, and how it's terraced around the entire facility. This was done with the theory that people could park where their seats were actually located, so there'd be less traffic inside the facility itself. Too bad the surrounding parking lot and city streets around the stadium are an absolute gridlock no matter what. The stadium also has two beautiful bronze statues, one of Sandy Koufax and the other of Jackie Robinson, two famous LA Dodgers. So max capacity at Dodger Stadium is 56,000 for an MLB game, and claims the #1 spot in Major League Baseball. And that's all we got time for today in this episode. It's time we take off our gear and head to the showers. But before you do, make sure you click that like and subscribe button, and it's always appreciated if you comment below. So, I'm your host, Lawrence Brady the Boot Wilson, and tune in next time when we check out more of the largest sporting venues by league. That's a touchdown in my book. A real home run, slam dunk, a checkered flag. What else? What else is there? What do they do in cricket or rugby?